Welcome to the Faster, Easier, Better show. This podcast is short, fun, and jam-packed with good ideas that you can start using right away.
Welcome to another episode. I'm your co-host, Ellen, along with my co-host,
Lee Silver, working hard over a hot mic.
All right, well, don't burn yourself. It's interesting you said you're working harder, because that's actually what I want to talk about today. I've been doing research into some of the worst productivity advice you could have. And one of them, you read is work harder. You're working towards a goal, work harder. And while that sounds like great advice, I think we need to tweak it a little bit, because if you just work harder, but you don't change anything else, nothing's going to happen. So, for example, let's say I'm trying to lose weight. And so I'm going to the gym and I'm going every other day. And then I decide I need to work harder. So I'm going to go every day and I'm going to do more sets and I'm going to be there longer and I'm going to work harder. But I don't change anything about my diet. I'm still enjoying pizza and beer and, I'm going to have a few donuts for breakfast, which sounds lovely, but it's not going to help. I can be working as hard as possible, but if I'm not making other changes, it doesn't work.
And, over generations, it's changed, because in the greatest generation and baby boomers, you work hard, you're rewarded. But as we go to Gen X, it was a little less of that, and certainly millennials, and now for sure, Gen Z, it's all about working smarter, not harder. Yeah. And so as we see, because we've kind of gone from the industrial age and, the more hands-on work to more smart work. I don't know how else to put it, but so obviously people are now more flexible with their schedule. So, it's not about how many hours you put in. It's about, did you get the work done? Did you get the work done on time? And so it's nice to hear that, that hard work isn't important. Just kidding. No, it's still important, but I was like, oh, great. Yeah. What's the opposite of hard? I'll do soft work.
Lazy work.
But I know what you mean. And I think it's a great point.
Yeah, I mean, it makes me think of the old Gary Larson cartoon where the kid is, and I'm going to get it wrong, he's like pushing on the front door of the Academy for the Gifted when the door, completely says pull. So when you're working harder, but you're not making other changes to tweak what you're trying to do, you're pushing. You're just pushing on that door, and you can exert all the energy in the world, but nothing's going to happen. So I think the whole idea of working harder is not great.
And I would say sometimes with a project that I'm working on or a task, I'm not ready yet. And so I'm kind of just spinning my wheels. And once I get everything lined up and I have all the things I need and I'm confident I can do it, I really move a lot faster. In the same amount of time, I'm getting more done. So it's sometimes just about reading yourself, reading where you are, reading the project, and knowing when it's time to really go all in and when it's time to back off a little and maybe gather some more information, get some help, find a partner, delegate, whatever helps you to get to the point where, okay, now I'm ready to run, right? Yeah. So you're crawling, you're walking. There's something in between. You're just crawling, then you're walking, then you're running. And I feel like for me, sometimes I'm working a lot harder in shorter spurts, meaning I'm preparing the little things to get everything together, which is busy work, whatever you want to call it, and then all of a sudden it's the real meat of the project, or the real you really dive into the task. Everything is set up and ready to go, and I'm working hard, but in shorter amount of time. The project doesn't need hard work the whole way.
Well, and I also think if you are okay, I'm going to work harder at this. I'm going to work harder at this. I'm going to succeed. But I think that is a recipe for burnout. If, again, let's go back to, hey, I'm trying to lose weight and I'm just running myself ragged at the gym. Well, that's not going to last very long. Then the whole thing goes poof, up in smoke, the whole idea. And working harder, I think, is a recipe for dissatisfaction, burnout.
Yeah, pace yourself, for sure. We're going to talk about baseball in a future episode, but in baseball, the harder you try, usually the worse you do. You overswing, you do too much, you're trying too hard. And that's true in a lot of things in life. You're dating, That's not good. You're just meeting someone. Back the heck off. Too much. Trying too hard.
Don't
You're
be too
creeping me
crazy.
out, man. I just met you. So back off. Then once you get together, then the hard work begins.
I was going to say, like, what? You're dating now? This is news for everyone. Oh, so that would be my worst productivity advice. On it, at face value, try harder. Anyone says try harder, they're lying to you. You can try harder, but you need to make additional changes that's going to make that hard work really apply and move you forward.
Yeah, and then the kids can't call you, this is the new term, a try hard.
Oh, there we go. A try hard. All right. Well, thanks for listening. Be with us again next week for another episode.